Sponsor is Swift & Staley, and we're so happy to have all of you joining us here for this event today. We are celebrating small businesses. We actually celebrate small businesses year-round, but we pick a certain time of the year to have seminars and to feature some of our small business owners. So today we're so thrilled to have a panel of some of our favorites as small business owners here with us. So you're going to be hearing shortly from Dawn Arnold of Arnold Realty Group, Katie Englert of Compass Counseling, Jeff Pierce of Atomic City Family Fun Center, and Ed White of Big Ed's Restaurant. So again, thank you to our sponsor, Swift & Staley, and you'll hear from them just in a few minutes too. And then for all of the businesses that were so cooperative in sending us a little bit of information about themselves, we're going to be featuring some of those later in the program and drawing for some a grand prize of the use of a billboard from Hibbs Insurance out on Lone Oak Road. But first, we do have some chamber announcements. We always want to recognize our new members. We're so thrilled to have them. We have Paducah Graphics, Hannah Resource Group, Harness Health Partners, and Discovery Park of America. We also recently celebrated with one of our members on their new location, Keller Williams Experience Realty. Their new office is located at 3420 Park Avenue, Suite 2. You can see it right from Park Avenue as you drive by. So stop by sometime and see them. We're really happy for them in their new office. We have some ribbon cuttings coming up. Next Tuesday, May 18th, Mercy Health's new Employee Health Solutions Division, Harness Health Partners, our new member. We're going to celebrate with them with a ribbon cutting at 1:15 at the Lourdes, the Medical Pavilion in Suite 202. Next Wednesday, May 19th, there's a ribbon cutting at Southern Concrete, located at 4020 Carroll Road at 3 o'clock. On May 27th, we're going to be at Atomic City Family Fun Center for a ribbon cutting. That's at 12:30. They're hosting an open house from noon to 2. They're located at 3801 Hinkleville Road. You can't miss them. They're right there on Park Avenue as well. And on May 28th at 11 a.m., join us at River City Nutrition Paducah, located at 2929 James Sanders Boulevard, Suite G, for a ribbon cutting. Also want to encourage you to mark your calendars for our golf scramble. We only have a couple of openings left, maybe even just one or two, so we want you to join us Thursday, June 10th. We need volunteers. We want to fill those two teams, and we'll additionally always take more sponsors. So it's at the Country Club of Paducah with presenting sponsor Holland Stivers Employee Solutions, and our gold sponsors this year are U.S. Bank and PFGW. Lunch is provided by Atmos Energy, so it's a fun day. Please join us as a volunteer, a sponsor, or a player. The Paducah Young Professionals, they're having their first in-person event outside tomorrow. We'll be at Bouchard's for a luncheon. And then we're having our annual breakfast with the interns. So you guys know a few years ago we started an intern initiative program to make sure that all the interns that are working our area want to come back here. So we're having that breakfast with the interns sponsored by the Arnold Realty Group. It's going to be at Noble Park on June 9th at 7:30. We're having it in the big pavilion. So this event is for PIP and our local interns. Our featured speakers, our very own Dr. Anton Reese, president of West Kentucky Community Technical College and the current board chair of the Paducah Chamber. And he's going to talk about why our interns and our young professionals are so important to our community. And since we'll be at Noble Park, Paducah Mayor George Bray will be delivering the welcoming comments. As part of our small business celebration, we have a lot of seminars coming up. They're sponsored by FNB Bank and Lundberg Medical Imaging. We hope you joined us yesterday for the first virtual seminar about how to grow your business through federal contracts. We learned that the Kentucky PTAC had helped bring in over $67 million of federal contract spending in McCracken County. So we want to make sure all small businesses are able to take part of that. Upcoming seminars you can see on your screen. Topics include how your business can take advantage of non-traditional lending options and employee retention tax credits, the benefits of having a business coach, and why your business could benefit from the Chamber's first Mastermind Cohort Group. We're starting that Pathway to Success in June with Mike McAllowitz, who's an international speaker, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that program in just a few minutes. Today is Leadership Paducah 34's last full day with us. We're so proud that we got to have that class this year. It's been a different type of class. I did have some classes virtual, but today we're back in person and we're back on a school bus and we're going to tour several sites. Those of you who've been through Leadership Paducah know how important that school bus ride is. So we're looking forward to doing that. They'll be masked up and we'll be outside at many sites, but we're so excited to get to be touring some of the sites in Paducah. So we are going to let you hear now, as though many of you know, Leadership Paducah always selects a class project. So 2 of their class members are here today to fill you in about that. Charmaine Smith with CSI and Aisha Shumpert with West Kentucky Community and Technical College. And I think Charmaine's going first.
Good morning. I am Charmaine Smith, the Chief People Officer for CSI, and it's my privilege to represent our Leadership Paducah Class 34 this morning. I want to speak to you about our class project. Our class felt a lot of pressure this year to choose the right project. We all know that there are so many people with needs during COVID-19 pandemic and all worthy of support from our class. But when we heard the presentation from the Lifeline Recovery Center, our group knew this is where we wanted to spend and find money for them. For the stories of the residents returning to their families and to the workforce after overcoming life-controlling addictions. If you don't know, Lifeline Recovery Center is a recovery program for those dealing with life-controlling addictions. Since 2013, Lifeline has served more than 945 area residents. We spoke with one of Lifeline's graduates who is still working for a local employer who took a chance on him while he was living and learning at Lifeline Recovery Center. He was in and out of jail before he came to Lifeline. And now he, as a community, takes pride in his work, and his life is forever changed. With that, we all know someone that struggled with addiction and drugs and alcohol. Even myself have known people that have struggled with these addictions. But we know when lives are changed, communities are transformed. Lifeline Recovery Center is expanding their campus to help more people in need. Lifeline's in the process of constructing a much-needed second men's dormitory, and we hope to help them furnish it with all the equipment, bedding, and other supplies that they need, such as vehicles to transport their clients to work and community service projects. We call our project Furnishing Hope.
Good morning. I am Aisha Shumpert, a proud member of the Leadership Paducah Class of 34, the best class, if you will. We need you. The Leadership Class of 34 needs your support to be able to reach our goal. Sure, we have a monetary goal, but we also want to illuminate how much your monetary donations will help us to change the lives of those tenants at the Lifeline Recovery Center. Please join us in reaching our ultimate goal, which is to provide the monies necessary for the Lifeline Recovery Center to be able to complete their project. When giving your donation, we, the Leadership Paducah Class of 34, want you to remember that these funds that you are given will actually improve the lives of those in need in our very own community. Please take a second to think back to a time that someone helped you in a time of need. Okay, now take another second and reflect on a time that someone extended grace to you. Friends, family, colleagues, this is our time to pay it forward. I'm reminded of a quote by Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. We rise in our community by lifting others in our very own community. So let's rise. We all have experienced adversity this year, but with our persistence and interminable drive, we will push this great project to success. The Leadership Class of 34 has made a great commitment to be leaders in our community, to be givers in our community, and to always lead with compassion. Will you commit with us? Please join me in this acronym, GIVE. G-I-V-E. G stands for grace, courteous goodwill, I stands for initiates, cause a process to begin. V stands for valor, strength of mind. And E stands for excellence, the quality of being outstanding. To give or to learn more, please go to leadershippaducahproject.com. Remember, great leadership is a lifeline. Thank you.
I'm going to give that website one more time. You can contribute online, or for more information, go to leadershippaducahproject.com. I'm so proud of this class, and thank you, Aisha and Charmaine, for sharing those comments with us today about what the project involves. And I look forward to seeing all class members just in a few minutes to board the bus and head out. If you are interested in being a part of Leadership Paducah, we have applications out now for Leadership Paducah Class 35. We're going to kick off with a retreat in August. We're taking applications now through June 4th. We'll start in August and run through the next June. So I hope that you have heard what a great program it is. It's class 35, so it'll be an anniversary class, so we'll have a lot of opportunities to celebrate from that. And you can get the application at paducahchamber.org. You can email us at info@paducahchamber.org, and we'll send it to you, or you can go online and download it. Thanks again to Swift & Staley as our sponsor today for our breakfast. We are at the Commerce Center, broadcasting still virtually, but we hope to be back in person sometime later this summer. I'm looking at Dr. Reese, and I'm going to talk to the board. We're just antsy to be back out and about, and we are doing some things in person outside, but we're hoping to be back in person soon. So thank you for joining us virtually. It's my pleasure now to introduce the chairman of our board and the president of WKCTC, Dr. Anton Reese.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much, President, Chair, Commissioner Sandra Wilson. Welcome to our May PIP program. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, I always see this opportunity to also recognize the WKCTC family, represented today also with Aisha Shumpert here, but certainly to all the members of our family. We are eagerly looking forward to next Tuesday, May 18th, noon Central Standard Time, where we will learn from the Aspen announcement, where we ranked among the top 10 colleges in the nation. So stay tuned for more news on that. I bring greetings on behalf of the Chamber Board. This dynamic team continues to work earnestly in ways in which we can improve and enhance and support all of our small businesses and all of our businesses, because again, small business is big business. Well, it is May, and if you recall last month, I think I pulled a little surprise on my good colleague and friend, Sandra Wilson. So I figured it's May, so why not just keep the momentum going? So last fall, we had a real engaged conversation in the midst of all things COVID-19, particularly the disproportionate impact it had on minority and small businesses, including the PPP loans and access to the chamber and the great things we offer through networking and training. You fast forward, as you know, last fall, we were very fortunate to receive the $50 million gift from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. With that, I had a 7-sector vision. The last couple of weeks, we did some great giveaways for Sector 2, which were organizations serving DEI. Today, though, is the first announcement from Sector 4, which is our workforce area. So, Sandra, I'm going to ask you to come on up and for a moment, and then I'm going to bring Kevin O'Neill up here in just for a second as a surprise. But let me just lay the surprise out here for you, if you will.
This is a surprise.
Yes, it is. This is the way we do it. So basically, this surprise announcement includes 10 diverse business packages at $500 each. And that package includes the Chamber membership and workforce-related training by our All-Star Workforce Solutions team for a total of $5,000. We will also be adding a business mentor, 10 of those, $100 each for an additional $1,000. We're going to provide Leadership Paducah sponsorship, 1 per year for 3 years for a total of $4,500. The upcoming and very important DC fly-in, we want to sponsor each year for 3 years for a total of $6,000 DEI representation. And in moments, I will also add to a surprise coming up regarding some scholarships towards a very special cohort announcement valued at $2,250. So let's do the math. So it's a total of $18,000, I know you want the bottom line, $18,750, which is the largest award to a single organization thus far. And I'm going to ask Kevin O'Neill to bring forth that big check and join us here at the podium.
So I wondered why Kevin was here. Good, all right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Yes. So Sandra, on behalf of WKCTC and as part of our guarantee, and as importantly, the incredible work that our chamber continues to do, use this gift wisely, and we definitely look forward to all the possibilities it has of just making us a more inclusive community and providing opportunities for all.
Well, let me just go back up here to just say, thank you so much. You did pull a joke on us in April, so to deliver something like this in May is just wonderful. So thank you so much. I'll get more details on it, and we'll make it all happen.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
There's also a
right.
certificate as well that we want to present to you
All right.
on behalf of our team.
And I have a feeling that you'll be have over my shoulder making sure that every penny is spent wisely, and you know it will be. Thank you so much on behalf of the chamber.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a good way to start a May, right? Yes, or May PIP. All right, so I'm excited today to talk about a brand new program for business owners offered by our own Paducah Chamber. This was an idea developed from our small business committee. At one of their meetings, they brainstormed how beneficial it would be to have some type of a mastermind or a cohort group to help our local businesses. And they even took it one step further and dreamed big about what if we can engage Mike Makowicz, which is a nationally recognized author, entrepreneur, and business consultant. In fact, one of our small business panelists today, Katie Englert, was on that call, and she suggested him because she had completed one of his cohorts centered around his book, Fix This Next. The chamber went to work to figure out how we could make this happen. It wasn't easy to secure someone of Mike's caliber for a small business cohort meeting and a cohort group, but we are here to announce today that the chamber is expanding its business programming with the launch of a cohort group to begin this summer and continue for the next 6 to 9 months. And Mike Makowicz will be their featured speaker on June 22nd. Now, it's a tough name to pronounce, but it's serious business and a serious topic, and a timely topic as well. We want to invite our area business owners to be part of this first cohort group entitled Pathway to Success. This is about creating and sustaining successful businesses in our community to create more economic growth and jobs. The presenting sponsors are Murray State University's Center for Economic and Entrepreneurial Development and Paducah Bank. The supporting sponsor is West Kentucky Community and Technical College's Workforce Solutions, and other sponsorships are available. The Chamber took it 2 steps further and has engaged Mike for a 3-part series this year. These include the exclusive kickoff for members of the cohort, another appearance at the Chamber's annual meeting, hopefully in person, and business celebration on September 9th, and in October for a private ticketed event for a new book launch of his latest book, Get Different. Mike says the biggest problem business owners have is that they don't know what their biggest problem is. The cohort group will focus on setting time aside to identify foundational issues, get unstuck, and unlock a new level of growth for their businesses. The cohort members will receive a copy of his book, Fix This Next, to use as the basis of their study. They will also participate in his new book launch and receive a copy of the new book, and they will be recognized at the Chamber's annual meeting and business celebration. Let's hear from Mike about how this process will be your compass and show you how to make your business work for you.
Mark this in your calendar, June 22nd, 9 a.m. My name is Mike Makowicz. I'm the author of Profit First, Clockwork, and Fix This Next. On June 22nd, I'm going to be talking about Fix This Next specifically. So if you're a chamber member or if you're a small business owner or both, you're going to find exactly how to improve your business, to find the right fix. Now, for this to work, you got to be there. So sign up June 22nd, 9 a.m. Central. I'll see you. We're going to find the exact fix your business needs.
So absolutely, as Mike says, let's be there, right? So let's sign up. We believe so strongly that this program will provide benefits to you and your business that the Chamber is offering, wait for it, a money-back guarantee for the registration, less the cost of the books and the celebration ticket, to help show our commitment to local business owners. I also strongly believe in this program, and 3 of those scholarships, valued at $750 apiece for a total of $2,250, we will sponsor those as well. This cohort group will focus on setting time aside to identify projected growth areas, learn more about areas that may be holding back business, provide a support group, opportunities to learn from other peers, rely on accountability, a coach to keep on track, learn from coaches in specific problem areas, and build confidence to help businesses to be successful, taking it to the next level. So be sure to tune in to the webinar on May 26th at 8 p.m. That will provide more information about why any business owner who wants to grow their business and to ensure success should participate. And that's true for all of our businesses. Katie Englert will be part of that panel to focus on her experience with Fix This Next and how it has helped her to achieve some of her goals with her business. The Chamber is looking for 25 to 30 participants with a desire to invest in themselves and their future businesses. So 25 to 30, let's even exceed that goal. You can find more information at paducahchamber.org or by calling the Chamber at 270-443-1746. Now, a special appreciation and thanks to today's sponsors, Swift and Staley. Tammy Courtney, the Vice President and Project Manager, will bring comments and introduce this special program today. Tammy.
Thank you, Dr. Reese. Good morning. On behalf of Swift and Staley, it is an honor to once again sponsor the May Power and Partnership Breakfast. We are excited to host Small Business Month and look forward to hearing from the panel. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little about Swift and Staley. We are a local business headquartered in Paducah. We are 100% employee-owned. We have held the infrastructure contract at the DOE Paducah site since 2005, and including our subcontractors, we have about 185 employees performing work at the DOE Paducah site. The following slides will illustrate some of our work. We perform snow and ice removal and road maintenance on 32 miles of paved roadways and parking lots, not to mention the numerous sidewalks. We perform routine mowing activities for more than 800 acres. This compares to mowing 606 football fields every week. Other items include repairs to 106,000 linear feet of fence and erosion repairs and control. We perform daily janitorial services for approximately 114 facilities or 250,000 square feet. That would be comparable to cleaning 63 McDonald's restaurants every single day. We recycle over 187,000 pounds of paper, cardboard, and plastic each year. We perform monthly inspections on 3,000 fire extinguishers. We replace over 1,800 light bulbs each year and complete 1,200 work requests each year, such as restroom repairs, office moves, HVAC repairs, just to name a few. We maintain approximately 10 miles of active railroads used for waste shipments and cylinder movement. Last year, we processed over 47,000 electronic records into the electronic records management system. We also processed over 1,200 cubic feet of legacy hard copy records last year. It's worth noting that some of these records date back to the 1950s when the plant was constructed and are permanent records that can never be destroyed. Last year, we performed classification reviews on more than 1.6 million pages of records. We issue over 900 badges each year to allow other site contractors, DOE, and visitors to access the site. We employ a full-time locksmith to maintain more than 165 security locks and keys. We also perform routine maintenance on 260 vehicles and pieces of equipment. We manage 439 facilities in the Facility Management Database. This database is used to document repairs and costs associated with each facility. We maintain a network for over 1,100 site users. Last year, we closed over 24,000 IT help desk tickets. That was an unusually high number due to the increased number of personnel teleworking in 2020. We manage about 1.8 petabyte of data on the network. To put this in perspective, it would take 446,000 DVDs to store the information. We provide employee training for over 1,700 site personnel each year. It includes both computer-based and classroom training. And we perform calibrations and repairs on over 700 radiological instruments. We provide quarterly dosimetry and bioassay sampling to over 1,000 DOE and contractor personnel. Dosimeters are worn by site employees and measure any radiation exposure, and bioassays are urine samples collected and sent off-site to ensure no radiation exposures occurred. Per the nature of our contract, DOE may release additional task orders to us to perform work. Examples include extensive railroad repairs, as seen in the top left photo. The top right photo is a picture of one of the 8 above-ground storm shelters we installed this year, and the bottom is a picture of the utility optimization project. We partnered with another local business, Beltline Electric, and successfully completed this 18-month-long project. None of the work discussed would be possible without our number one resource, our employees. We are so proud to have a dedicated and loyal workforce that not only works hard, but also is highly involved in the local community. Since 2018, we have donated over 1,200 hours to community service projects and more than $322,000 in charitable donations. Not too shabby for 185 people. Additionally, our supplies, equipment, and some subcontracts needed to support our work in 2020 contributed over $13 million procurement dollars back into the community through utilization of local businesses. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you now have a better understanding of Swift & Staley and the work we perform at the DOE Paducah site. Now on with the show. Swift & Staley is proud to be the sponsor of the Chamber Breakfast focusing on small businesses. Today's program is going to be fun and interesting as we hear from these small business owners. These owners have weathered many storms in the past. We have recruited a diverse representation of our community and small businesses. Dawn Arnold is the owner and principal broker of Arnold Realty Group. A Metropolis native, after graduating from Western Kentucky University, she began her career in December 2015 working for the late Mike Falconite. After 2 years at Falconite Development, Dawn became its principal broker. In the summer of 2019, she opened Arnold Realty Group. Jeff Pierce is co-owner and vice president of Atomic City, Paducah's family fun center that opened in late December at 3801 Hinkleville Road. A Livingston County native, Jeff is no stranger to small business, as he has been the owner of Pierce Productions, a video production company, since 2017. He is also a realtor with Keller Williams. Katie Englert is the owner of Compass Counseling and a licensed professional clinical counselor. She opened Compass Counseling in Paducah in 2013 and has expanded to locations in Owensboro, Henderson, and Lewisport. She was the Chamber's Entrepreneur of the Year in 2020. The restaurant business has been in Ed White's blood for many years. Ed started working at Whaler's Catch at age 16 and worked his way up to chef and kitchen manager. Shortly after Whaler's Catch closed, he opened his first restaurant in 2015 and then expanded his business to a larger location on North 8th Street in January of 2020, known as Big Ed's. Sandra is going to serve as the moderator today, so I'm going to turn the program back over to her.
Well, thank you, Tammy. And again, we appreciate the support of Swift & Staley. We just can't thank you enough for everything that you do for the Chamber. You're the sponsor of our DC trip, so we look forward to going in person. We're sure hoping the end of September back to DC. So good morning, everyone. These are some of my favorite people, some of our top Chamber supporters. You all are members and supporters and help us out so much. So we're so honored to get to hear more about your businesses today and talk with you about all of that. I know we should probably start with some really obvious questions like, what about COVID and what about workforce? But I want to do some other things first, and then we'll get to a little bit more of the serious questions, I guess, a little bit later. But I want to do some individual questions. So I'm going to start with Dawn. We heard in your bio that you opened the Arnold Realty Group in the summer of 2019, and it's the owner and principal broker. People see your face all over town on signs. But here's a tidbit about her that some of you may not know. Let's go back to your college days as a hilltopper at Western Kentucky University and as a racer at pains me to say that, but anyway, we're happy to have you, that you chose to come back here. But you attended Western Kentucky University on a golf scholarship and played collegiate golf. People still recruit her to be on their golf team at a lot of our events. So being active in competitive sports always usually creates a really competitive spirit. Do you believe that competitive spirit has helped you in your business in the real estate field, even during the challenging times of selling during a pandemic?
So I would say yes and no to both. I feel like it's definitely, I'm competitive because I've always played sports, but I think more than anything, it's given me great time management skills from playing full-time and going to school. I got my real estate license in grad school, and while I was in school, I was selling houses, selling real estate, as well as going to school as a full-time student. And then fast forward to this pandemic, right before I had just gotten married. We were in the middle of buying a house, and then the pandemic hit, and in the midst of that, we were having a baby. And I remember and buying a house, and in the peak of the pandemic, I had a baby in May, Harper, and on the hospital bed, I remember talking to my husband. I was on during labor texting about a real estate deal. I mean, it's just part of it. And I think for me, that's just in my nature. I've never had a 9-to-5 job ever since I've graduated college. That's just what I've done, and I think that's what golf really helped me with that kind of thing. And I think that's just part of owning a small business, though. You know that your employees aren't going to get paid unless you're working. My agents aren't going to get paid. No one's going to pay me. So during all of COVID and everything, I mean, my business never really skipped a beat, and I was fortunate enough to still be here and successful with everything.
Great, thank you, Dawn. Dawn is on our membership and marketing committee, now our Chamber Connectors. We've renamed that. And we did make some comments about she had Harper during COVID-19, and so really none of us got to see her at the end of her pregnancy right before she had Harper, but we look forward to seeing her more in person too. Well, Jeff, I'm going to go to you now because you're one brave soul. I would just say, you opened a business during the red zone of COVID-19, and not just any business, but a family fun center business. And on top of that, and really this is a good thing, but we all know friendships that may not have ended well due to business relationships. But you opened your business with your wife as a partner, also with one of your best friends and his wife, and a third partner who also was a close friend of yours from college. So what more kind of pressure could you add on? Let us know how it's going.
Well, I'm sure it's out there, but I tell you what, it's going really well, Sandra. We appreciate all the support Paducah's given us and surrounding states also. When we got started, we were brand new at this. We didn't know anything about a family fun center. However, my partner Brian Pickett, he did do a lot of research in the beginning. We've been at this for about 4 years. We just left it in God's hands. We went on. Some days we didn't even think about it. But I tell you, Sandra, it's been a blessing. Everything fell in place like it should. We did our due diligence. We hired an architect. We hired an engineer firm. We did everything the city needed us to do. The city's been great, by the way. I want to give them a big round of applause because they had our back through this whole thing. They wanted to see this business come. And it's going really well, really well. And as a partnership in a business, whether you own 5%, 50%, or 100%, you all the time have to give 100% in what you're doing. And that's just a little advice that's helped us. If you see something needs to be done, just do it. Don't wait for your partner to do it or whatever. And what's the good thing about it is there's 5 of us, counting our wives and our partner in California. We all have some kind of special talent that would combine all this together and make it all work. Brian's in construction, I do the kind of the technical end, things like that. And it's worked really well. And we just appreciate the support we're getting. We're having a ball and it's going great. It's actually going better than expected. So that's a good thing.
So we're going to have a ribbon cutting there.
We are.
the date.
May 27th. And we're going to have an open house from 12 p.m. to 2. The cutting is actually going to be at 12:30, but we're going to open it up for free play from 12 to 2. So we expect everybody to come on out and have a good time. Bring your family and friends. We're going to have a wonderful time in Atomic City. And again, we can't thank everybody enough for everybody's been involved, helping getting this place going. We are loving it.
Great, thank you. I look forward to riding in a go-kart.
Good deal.
Maybe. So Katie, you are that soft-spoken counselor at heart. I've been on calls with you and you just speak up and it's just like, you just make everything seem like it's going to be okay. That's what you do. And when COVID hit, I know you had to change your business model more to telehealth. You were already pretty much an expert on how to do it, but you quickly became the person on how to do it to teach others. So you led webinars for us, include for the chamber and for others, about keeping your mental health in check during these times. I still have those 5 tips that you did in the chamber webinar by my desk. But what was your biggest surprise or takeaway from what has happened in the past 14 months with COVID-19 that impacted businesses, including yours?
Yes, I think, whenever I think about what has happened in the past year, there's so many things that have impacted as business owners and just as people. If you've heard me talk about mental health before, it's to tell people we all have mental health, and I think we all felt it this year. So that wasn't a surprise to me, but what was a surprise to me in business is how much we need each other and how much we need connection. And I think that that is something that we have all learned as a lesson from COVID-19.
All right, great. Thank you very much. And
No,
Ed,
no problem.
I'm going to go to you, and I'm going to be honest here. It's hard for me not to refer to you as Big Ed. I mean, that's just the name of your restaurant. That's what we hear people say. So, Big Ed, in January of 2020, you moved your small drive-through only and catering business to North 8th with a large buffet and 2 large dining rooms, a new adventure.
Yes.
But in less than 2 months, the world started being shut down, and we know what happened to restaurants during that time, too. So I do want to talk about the impact of COVID-19 with you, but first I want to go back to just your love of being in the kitchen. And I understand you got that from your mother and your grandmother and your recipes, and you also worked at Whaler's Catch and worked your way up during that time to chef and kitchen manager. So how did your early days with your family and your work ethic drive you to be brave enough to open your own restaurant business?
It was kind of rough. Like I said, I started at Whalers on 13th Street. Roberta Morris hired me. I started out a dishwasher, to be honest, and I worked my way up the kitchen, working with Bill Cornell, Sean Strickland, and it was a couple more others. But yeah, it was rough. And I always wanted to open my own business, but I was kind of scared. John always, took me on this wing, so I was always scared to leave him. So when he passed away, I guess it's been about 7 years, I decided I wanted to open up my own business. I started Big Ed's on 820 Joe Clifton Drive. And then everyone kept asking me to open up and sit down, and I was like, no, I'm scared. Just really, it's hard to get good help, and I'm always worried about making sure it's A1. You're not going to get it 100%, but, want to make sure I give the best I can. So a couple people was talking to me about Miss Pat, and me and Miss Pat talked. I guess we talked right before I opened Big Ed's on Joe Clifton Drive. She was out walking the dog, and I asked about selling. She said, yeah. I said, son, but it's really, really hard. You got to have good help and people you can trust and different things. And I said, yeah, I understand, Miss Pat. I said, I worry more about, making sure I'm going to give people what they pay for. He said, Ed, you'll do good. You'll do good. So I guess it was, January of 2020, or 2020. I talked to Miss Pat, and she said she'd give me a deal about maybe leasing the building and everything. So we sat down and talked about it, and I said, okay. Kind of scared, but I guess I'd do it. I had a good fan base, and everyone's like, man, you can do it. So I decided to do it, and everything's been great. I had good people to work for me, and like I said, I got a couple of waitresses that came from Miss Pat, and they really have had my back, and a couple family members, and I have this one guy that comes by and really mentor me and keep my head straight and tell me, you can do it, just keep doing it. But it's been rough. Like I said, I had probably 45 days in when the pandemic hit, but everything's going great. Can't complain. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to mention Miss Pat because it was the pork peddler that
Yes.
building where, and she was always a faithful chamber member as well. So I'm happy to give her that shout out as the pork peddler, because if you go in there now, you see a lot of the same things
Yes.
that she had with your recipes. So I'm gonna, I want to say, I'm sure your mom and grandmother are proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
And are you using some of the recipes? You said that you were influenced by them.
Some of them, but most of them I make my own. Most of them, yeah. So because I got to touch everything. So that's my main thing I got to get away from. I got to touch everything. I got guys cook the fish and stuff they can drop in the fryer, but that's common sense really. But sometimes that gets difficult too. So, but all the main stuff I have to cook it. I have to make sure I touch it. And so it's kind of hard because if I decide to get away, I don't know. It's kind of hard.
I'm going to keep that quote in mind. Common sense can sometimes be difficult.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Well, I'm going to continue with you, Ed, because I know your business was greatly impacted by COVID and all of the new regulations that came into play. I was there just recently, and definitely the way you have your buffet is set up different. So can you tell us about the impact that all of that had with the closing, the opening up, and then closing back down for a certain period of time, opening back up, the limited capacity, and then the new regulations?
It was really difficult, trying to do to-go orders. To-go orders is okay, but, it takes a lot to get to-go orders done. And, they're going to leave stuff out, and then people are going to be mad, and you're going to have to, try to fix that somehow, some way. But overall, just mainly keeping the employees working and trying to make everything go. But it was kind of hard because, like I said, not only taking one loss, I was taking 3 and 4. But my employees was well taken care of with, the customers coming in. They made sure the employees, had good tips and really happy for them having a job. So that was the main thing, keeping them working, because I need them through the good times and the bad times. So it's a two-way street. Sometimes you can't just think about Ed's bills. You got to think about their bills too, because I sometimes have big catering jobs, and I like to do it all by myself, but I can't do it. Sometimes I can't do it, but
Yeah.
I do most of it. But when you got 1,200 people pleading at Ashland or Carver City, it's hard to feed that many people by yourself. So I try to take care of them when it's good and when it's bad. So and that's why I tell them, guys, I could easily shut it down right now because I'm taking one loss that way. But if I keep it open, I'm taking 4 and 5 losses. Trying to make sure y'all paid, light bills going up, and I don't know if customers gonna come in or not. So it's cooking all this food. That's another way. So it's really difficult, but I think I'm gonna make it. I really think I'm gonna make it. So.
I think you are too. I was just in there, and you have, of course, the screening set up over the buffet, and you had your own workers serving your customers. So I know that those are big changes. It's hard, honestly, to think back. Tammy Courtney, who spoke earlier in this room, she and I were in Washington, D.C. about the very last week of February of 2020, and we remember hearing about COVID-19, remember saying, should we be here? Those are kind of things, but no one, I don't think, could have ever imagined what was going to happen, of course. So I think, congratulations, you've done a great job in
Thanks.
adjusting your
Appreciate it.
restaurant to meet those, and we're really proud to have you as a chamber member. Katie, I'm going to ask you, as part of the healthcare industry in general, with your business, with Compass Counseling, how do you see that COVID changed the business model for the healthcare industry?
Well, I think that there was an underlying preparation that I feel like some of us were already taking as far as just bringing telehealth to people. In rural communities, I have a passion about that and have had for years, but it was more or less just an kind of a novelty that we could offer for convenience and things like that, or people who couldn't get out. So I feel like having to adjust the workflow for healthcare practices and even larger, I'm guessing hospitals just have it on a large level. I don't know, because I don't have a huge hospital that I'm dealing with, but we had to change the way, our whole workflow. So we changed the way that we communicated with our clients about their appointments, but our goal was to not skip a beat, because if we had shut down, we had people who were already coming to work on mental health goals or life goals. The last thing they needed was somebody that was dependable, that they could work through these things on, to not be accessible. So I think having telehealth as an option, mental health it's a little different because you don't have like labs and things like that you have to have for medical healthcare practices. But so we just had to, communicate with our clients a little differently and try to make our workflow simple. And that's not always easy to make things simple, and transition people who would normally not consider telehealth. So make it easy enough for them and accessible enough for them that they felt confident about using it, and not overcomplicate things. So that's kind of where I always go, how can we make things simple? It's not easy to make things simple, but we really need to make this simple as we can for our community and for our clients. And so I think people across the healthcare spectrum who would have never entertained the idea of trying something like a telehealth appointment, I think people were more willing to try that. And as a result, I think that they have come, I think some people prefer it. I don't think it's good all the time, but I think knowing what the options are, especially for accessibility to specialists or people who live in rural, faraway places where there may not be a provider close to them, it's an excellent option.
So when you talk about a telehealth appointment, I'm visualizing it kind of like a Zoom call. I mean, and we all say we're Zoomed out, but yet it's been great in a way to learn that new technology. So your client is on the computer and your counselor is sitting there talking to them in person.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just like that. We use a secure portal, so it's not, your regular Facebook Live or, regular Zoom, but it is very similar to that. So where you have a portal, you log in, you click your button, and there you are.
Great. So now we kind of have a visualization more of it as well.
Yeah.
So Jeff, we talked about opening a business up during the challenging time, but what are you seeing and hearing now from your customers as they come in?
Great things, and we appreciate that. What we see and hear are a lot of smiling faces. We see the smiles on the kids' faces and adults when they come in the door, but when they leave, the kids start crying a little bit. I don't know what's going on there, but it's good just to kind of sit back and watch the community and watch our customers come in and just go crazy in there, just having fun. And we hear all kinds of good things. And we're open to suggestions. We've got an open ear at Atomic City. We wanted to make sure that everyone is happy with we want to give good customer service. We want to hear your opinions, your thoughts, and we're not going to let it go stale. We're already planning something else in the near future on the exterior side. So, be watching for that. But the customers seem very happy. We've had some drive for many hours just to come to Atomic City, come to Paducah. And another thing about that, Paducah is a wonderful place. We have several things here in Paducah for families of all ages, people of all ages to do, and we are just blessed to be able to add to the greatness of Paducah. And we appreciate everything we've had from the city, and we enjoy being a chamber member. And we feel being a chamber member is very important because everybody's got each other's back in the chamber, and we appreciate that very much, and we're just honored to be a part of that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that commercial.
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel like, though, when people come into Atomic City, they leave the world that they're facing, any kind of problems behind, and they just come in and check in just to have fun?
Exactly. My partner, Brian Pickett, this was his vision from the Lord. And the vision was to have a place where families can just put the cell phones down, except for, taking a few snapshots or having fun, but put the cell phones down for a while, get the families connected again, just like they used to eat at the same dinner table. We want a place where families can come have fun. We've got something from toddlers to grandparents' age there, so there's a place to come out all day, hang out. We have food there. You can spend the whole day together and just get reconnected, spend some good quality family time with each other.
Great, thank you. So Dawn, we hear all the time that real estate is selling like hotcakes in the community, and we need more. We need more housing. We need more apartments. We need all of that. What experience are you seeing with that? Do you think there's any relation to the COVID pandemic, or what are the factors really driving that?
Yeah, so I definitely think there is a relation. The pandemic brought, interest rates to record lows, and so in turn, it's just increasing buyers' buying power. And so buyers are able to purchase more because of the low interest rates. The biggest part, though, is supply and demand. There's just not enough houses out there for buyers looking. And I think everyone's heard it, and I'm sure you've heard it. Our agents say it all the time. There's always someone that says, I would sell, but I don't have anywhere to go. I mean, that seems like a call, something we get all the time. And on top of that, you hear people say, well, I would sell, but we want to build, and the pandemic has definitely affected the lumber costs, and so building costs. So many people I think we see are staying in their houses, doing renovations instead, or instead of building, maybe putting off. So there's just not enough houses on the market for the people buying. To me, it's very interesting though, because while I do a lot of houses, and all my agents do houses, I do a lot of commercial, and it's just polar opposite, of how the pandemic affected the real estate commercial world, as it didn't help it and increase things. It hurt it tremendously. But in the residential world, it's definitely helped sellers. It's definitely a seller's market. I mean, skyrocket price. If you put your house on the market for the right price, I guarantee you're going to get offers, multiple, a lot of times over asking price. So it's definitely had an effect on both commercial and residential.
Do you see commercial real estate beginning to come back?
It's started to come back. Recently, we've started to get, some more leasing deals, but unfortunately, bigger spaces. I probably have more commercial listings than I've had since I've been here, and like you said, I do a lot of a lot of buildings and stuff, and I definitely have more listings than I've ever had commercial-wise, just because there's so many vacancies. I get a lot of calls for that. There's a lot of investors out there ready to purchase commercial buildings, but there's just not as many leases, new businesses starting, people are downsizing. So it started to pick up. It seems like recently I've did a few leases, but it's not all the way there yet.
Do you see people coming here that are moving away from the big city to be in a smaller town and working remote?
Yeah, I've been getting, it's funny you say that, because it seems like the last couple weeks I've had several businesses calling, and I'm working with one that's bringing about 60 people from here, from a different town. Yeah, I mean, and I hope that it just keeps trending that way, but our prices are less in the commercial world than bigger cities, and I think that does help. Retail-wise, no, there's definitely more retail spaces, but I think offices, warehousing especially, we're seeing more and more draw to Paducah because our rates of real estate is less here than in bigger cities.
We'll do anything we can to help you bring those people here. So, all right, I'm going to kind of wrap up with a couple of just little questions. So, of course, worker shortage, we do hear that. I don't know if it's as much for Dawn with real estate or for Katie with counselors, but I would think with Atomic City and Big Ed's, that's probably an issue you're dealing with.
Exactly. You're exactly right, Sandra. Right now, we currently have approximately 41 employees, and we're looking to hire about 20 or 25 more, and those applications just don't roll in like they used to. They rolled in pretty quickly with the new business and what we were doing, but now, with the way the employment world is right now, nobody is going to work, and that's a struggle. That's a struggle. You got to have your employees to stay open, and we're fine now, but we're looking to expand, so we're going to go ahead and start that process. So yes, it's an impact. Sure.
Yeah. I'm sure it is. Well, let's wrap up with, is there one piece of advice that you would give others who are starting or who are thinking about starting their own business as a business owner?
Are you, any of us?
All of you.
Okay.
You can go first if you want. They can be thinking about their answers.
Okay. Well, advice would be to 3 words: structure, structure, structure. Your business needs to be structured for sure. You need to communicate well. You need to treat your employees well. Communicate weekly, communicate daily if needed, but always have respect for each other and structure and time block everything you can. And think things through. Don't get in a rush. Don't get in a hurry. If you need help, just ask. And one other thing, too, is advertise. Advertise is key So that's my opinion on that advice right there, because I've seen it work.
All right. Dawn, do you have a piece of advice you would give someone thinking about starting their own business?
I think that mine would be just be ready to work hard when you have your own business. It's, you're your own boss, but you're responsible for other people. And I think, like Jeff said, though, part of my thing is just building a team of people and people that feed off each other and want each other to be successful. I think that just in turn makes you successful. And the part that's most rewarding to me, that I can never go to a job where I'm on salary, is that the harder you work, I think the more successful you are. And I learned that from Mike when I was at Falconite. The more we do, the more you work, the more you're gonna make. And to me, I think that you can help your employees that have that same mentality, give incentives, help them to have that same drive, so.
Great. Thank you. Katie?
Yep, I would say to connect and build relationships. So, of course, I would. But I would say to find help and communicate that to, if you need help, find somebody to help you. Build a relationship with that person. Be good to people that you serve. Be good to people on your team, and just and connect with other business owners.
Great. Ed, you got a piece of advice, somebody thinking about opening a business? Go for it.
It's kind of rough, but just gotta be married to it. It ain't something you can just jump in and just do. You gotta be married to it and give your whole life to it. I mean, just ain't no days off. You don't, like Don said, you gotta take care of your employees, and everybody's gotta know what's going on. You just can't do it by yourself. You gotta have more people to help.
Yeah.
The main thing is you gotta be married to it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay, let's not totally scare people away, but
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I think that's true. That's true with any profession.
Sometimes you get paid, sometimes you don't. I mean, just one of those things.
You guys are role models for our community of small business owners, so we really appreciate your time today. Dawn Arnold with Arnold Realty Group, Jeff Pierce with the Atomic City Family Fun Center, Katie Engler with Compass Counseling, and Big Ed with Big Ed's Restaurant. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're not finished. We're going to feature 3 more businesses. Dr. Reese, if you would grab this fishbowl and bring those over here, we're going to, and you want to bring your glasses, because we're going to draw for 3 and feature those businesses very quickly. Okay. I'll draw one and read it, and then you draw one and read it. Oh, I drew 2. Okay. Our first one we're featuring is Bluegrass Orthodontics. Bluegrass Orthodontics has been a Paducah business since 1980. It was started by Dr. Jim Woods. The practice has always been located in the downtown area of Paducah. It's at 2307 Kentucky Avenue. In 2017, Dr. Jim Woods' daughter, Dr. Mackenzie Woods, joined the practice, and she is now the owner and president of the practice. Bluegrass Orthodontics provides top-quality orthodontic care with state-of-the-art technology, and they offer a friendly, family-oriented atmosphere for their patients to enjoy. You can call 270-443-7405 for Bluegrass Orthodontics service. You want to read this one?
All right. River City Nutrition, 2929 James Sanders Boulevard. Caitlin Hobbs at Outlook.com. That's her Facebook information. River City Nutrition is a locally owned business in Paducah, Kentucky. They serve healthy teas as well as meal replacement coffees and shakes. The teas are sugar-free and loaded with vitamins, energy, digestion, and help with focus. We use all of those. Our shakes have 24 grams of protein and come in a variety of flavors. Our business is Christian-based, and we try to honor God in everything that we do. Great combination there. All right.
That was River City Nutrition. Keep that up here. We're going to put them back in. Okay, here's our third business we're going to feature today. Well, the Yiser Art Center, which is also a nonprofit. The mission of the Yiser Art Center is to further the development and appreciation of the visual arts within our local community and throughout the region by providing educational opportunities and activities that help nurture the creative spirit in all of us. The Yiser Art Center was established in 1957 as the Paducah Art Guild. Over the years, the center has grown to host multiple art exhibitions annually and maintains a permanent collection of 200 works. And I will tell you, if you come to the Commerce Center, you can see some of the permanent works of the Yiser Art Center, which are on display in our building, and we appreciate that partnership that we have with them to display that. So those are those 3 businesses. You know what, should we put them back in before we have the drawing for the billboard? Okay.
Shake, shake. There you go.
Okay, you draw. Don't look. Okay, the winner of the Hibbs Insurance billboard on Lone Oak Road is Bradshaw and Will Insurance. We'll talk to them about that and try to make this work out. Yeah, we'll talk to them and make this work out. Okay, we also, there's down here below, we have for door prizes. So while we're drawing for door prizes, we want to say, just remind you, we'll be back on June 3rd with our next breakfast event sponsored by Murray State University, and President Bob Jackson will be our keynote speaker. We're looking forward to hearing more about what's going on with the racers and what's going on at Murray State. You can always stay in contact and find out more about our events through paducahchamber.org. I brought my book, Fix This Next, I was going to hold up, but I left it over here on the table. So I want you, and I'm hoping some of you guys will participate. Katie is going to be on a webinar with us to talk about her experience with Mike McAllowitz and Fix This Next. It's a small cohort group. We have sponsorships available to help small business owners to pay the fee. So we want to get a good group together of people that can be supportive of each other, be mentors, and use this book to analyze how they can grow their business to the next level, what they might need to fix. Our door prizes, thanks to Swift and Staley, are from some of your businesses. We have a door prize from Atomic City Family Fun Center, a gift certificate, one from Big Ed's. And then here's the big announcement. Katie and her husband are opening a new business. They're already a chamber member, Chicken Salad Chick. And so she will, we have a gift certificate for that we'll be giving away as too. So we do hope to be back out in person soon. We're slowly coming out with Leadership Paducah and Paducah Young Professionals. Our Youth Lead program started. And so we are in person. We're staying outside as much as we can. We're staying masked up as much as we need to as well. Thank you, Swift and Staley. We really appreciate your support. Thank you, WKCTC, for that big announcement today. Our door prize winners are Leslie Haywood Moore, Lee Emmons. Leslie is with Live Paducah Rentals. Lee Emmons is with KCTCS, and Kevin Peck with PFGW, Peck Flannery Grimm Warren Engineers, or Architects. So we're so happy to have them. We'll be mailing them their gift certificates. Please join us in June. Have a great day, and we appreciate you being here today, and we appreciate everybody that's been here. Thank you so much.